I talk about new sugar makers, and that with the advent of leasing sugar bushes, and there's a lot of people that just bought this piece of land and I want you to log it and I'm going to sugar it. And I've got J.R. Sloan is going to hang the tubing. In a modern sugar place, and if you don't have any idea of what you're doing, which is like a new sugar maker, access is, and it's hard for me to criticize someone who is busting their butt and have really spent, a summer working on a sugar place. Oh, you're a dumb idiot. You can't. I have, but.
Especially if you work for them.
But yeah, you're right. But one of them had a red maple stand and a sugar maple stand, and he said, and his dad was always on him. You're cutting. You shouldn't cut everything but maple there, So I think he hated to admit Dad was right, but he saw the no issue in a red maple, and big issue in the sugar maple. It's going to take a while for him to promote different species there, but I think the fear I have is with ash borer, beech bark disease, if we get beech leaf disease, well, there's 2 species gone. What's left? That's not to say we shouldn't, try, but yeah. And we have another frequent advice I give people is with ferns, and how do I get more maple in here? And we have scarified, that has worked. Doesn't work all the time, but a lot of times just if you skid some firewood in your skid path, you can see regeneration coming up in those ferns. So.
When you go into a new untapped parcel, landowner wants to tap, fully stocked, do you always recommend they do a cut first? And if so, how often do they actually do it?
I'd say most of the time, I would probably say most of the time they already have a logger lined up and they want it cut. If I had to say, probably 75% of the time, 25% of the time, they're just going to set it up. But it's a race. It's a race. And I think a lot of them realize that they're not going to cut it for 25 years. So they might as well take the ash out, the money trees out. That's another reality that I could work for you and you may not want a maple cut at all. I might be able to talk you in to cutting a maple that's probably going to be a vacuum leaker, a real hollow tree. But I could work for Ethan, and Ethan might say, Ethan, some of these double stem red maples, you should cut those. Yeah, it's a loss of tap, but look, you're going to improve the single stem. And it's hard to talk, you can preach both, you educate them both, but if someone's got to pay off a loan, they want as many taps as they can right now. So sometimes we don't always cut the cull maple as we should.